Haunted and Historic Australia. In this episode we are looking at All Saints Cemetery, Parramatta. Here at All Saints Cemetery in Parramatta, one of the oldest cemeteries in Australia. See if we can get a bit closer to some of these. We've got people looking at me funny. Why is this girl photographing cemeteries for? What kind of morbid people would want to film a cemetery with some happy music in the background coming from one of those houses? Now it does appear we've got a plaque in the distance and it has names of a lot of people. Some old graves here. Really old graves here. Unfortunately, it looks as though we've got the back of them here, but the grass hasn't been mown. Unfortunately, a lot of these cemeteries aren't voluntary looked after, meaning that nobody really looks after them aside from people like historic societies or friends of the graveyard. Being summer, we could have some friendly snakes. Don't really want to be bitten. Oh wow. So we've got a bit of sinkage happening here. Let's have a little look at this one here. Arthur William. Wow, some of these graves are gorgeous. Look at that. They're big. It's a shame I can't get into some of these. Spots are very overgrown. We'll have to come here and do this at night time when it's a little more quiet and we could hear possibly more of the actual you might be able to talk to the people who have passed on rather than hear everything about the living here. But that's okay, we like this music, it's not too bad. Could be worse. Wow. It's amazing. Yes, I've got various looks about why I'm filming. But that's okay. I have no shame. This is all history. Wow. Now, as I believe, there is a Blaxland buried here. We've got a Blaxland in here. It'd be nice if I could... Ooh, Joseph Isles. But, yeah, unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure on the coordinates. Wow, have a go at that. Yeah, I may not walk in there anyway, just in case I might sink. Paisley. Oh, I've got to give it a go. She died doing something she loved, wandering around cemeteries. Yes, we've got sinkage there. Oh, I've got to go over and have a look. What do we got? Penelope. Christie. Wow, it could be snakeage. Tincoombe. Tincoombe? Wow. You don't want to sink. Wow. Apologies for the sun. Sorry for the sun. How dare the sun blind us like this. That's okay. We've had a bit of rain lately. We're going to get a bit more rain. It's been kind of a weird summer in New South Wales. It's been a bit of a crazy summer. Hasn't got real hot, which is sometimes good. But yeah, unfortunately we can't see much of the other side because of the sun. Just get in here. Richard Keys. Lucy Jane. It'd be really good to find Blaxland. Woodruff. They're eating them upside down, unfortunately. Lemon. What have we got? Wow, there's some old ones over there. Maybe nobody wants to whippersnip around these things in case they fall in. That could be John Whiting. A couple of stones in there. I do want to check out this whiting. I'm going to do a story on some people who are whitings. Oops, I just ended up down a hole. I'm still alive to tell a tale. Let me get back out of here. I don't want to end up in anyone's lap. Now, Stevenson, O'Hara. Okay, sounds as though we've got people in the background talking about New Year's Eve. There's the New Year's Eve festivities happening in the Parramatta, as we're at All Saints Parramatta, All Saints Cemetery. Yes, people are having fun and indulging in festivities, and I'm at All Saints Cemetery filming graves for your entertainment, but that's okay. I don't want to be caught up in all that Omicron, or whatever they call that new virus we've got at the moment. Pradamus. Apologies, I drifted off. Yeah, we don't want to be snakes. We don't want to be bitten by a snake. Yeah, we don't want to really go and hang out with anybody at the moment with the whole virus thing going on. Oh, look at that. Sorry, oops, I got a little excited there. Wow. Alright, let me just jump back out of here. You're seeing more of my shadow than you are of me today. That's okay. Let me just... Emily Jane, Christopher McRae, Tiernan, Lydia Waldegrave, Wardley. Now, I'm sure Blaxland's buried here. We have a Blaxland buried at St John's, and I believe we have a Blaxland, his brother, buried here. The Blaxland brothers were from Kent in England. John was the oldest and the younger brother Gregory. They were persuaded to come to Australia by Sir Joseph Banks, botanist. They both decided to come, Gregory first in 1805, followed by John after he had sold the family estate in Kent in 1807. John was more a businessman and acquired land pretty quickly. Gregory was the explorer and led the expedition across the Blue Mountains. Gregory Blaxland completed the expedition with William Lawson and William Charles Wentworth, son of Darcy Wentworth. William Lawson we know is buried at St Bartholomew's, one of our previous episodes, and William Charles Wentworth is buried in the family mausoleum in Vaucluse. Both brothers are buried in Sydney. John is buried at St John's Cemetery in Parramatta, and Gregory is buried in All Saints Cemetery in Parramatta. All Saints Cemetery, native grasslands restoration. Watkin Tench, First Lieutenant of the First Fleet. Yes, kangaroo grass. Look at that. I've been walking through knee-high kangaroo grass.
Which hurts your legs.
Which itches your legs. That's okay, we love kangaroos. Now, who have we got back here? Chatfield. It's the Chatfield family. William, Emma. I can't see that last one. Let me just get back here and I'll zoom in for you. Oh, son, why? Why? Robert James Mackenzie, I think I can see. So, let me zoom back out. Unfortunately, with the sun, it's really, really hard to see this time of the day, so we've definitely got to come back at night time with a torch and start working out where everything is. Sometimes it's easier to do nighttime cemetery walks than daytime. Oh wow, there's some more up there where Mitch is, but we'll go up there in a moment. I just want to walk this little area here. Now, with Parramatta high-rises in the background, we have All Saints Cemetery. Just going to come up to this area here where there's some big, large gravestones, and they're all facing the wrong way. Okay. That's right. We will work with what we have, even if we have very little. We will make it work. Now, who have we got up here? Who owns this monstrosity? Let me get a little closer without tripping down a hole or getting bit by snakes. Okay, I can't really read those. Arundel or Arundel. Farrenkemp. Eads. Moxham. Now, Moxham's quite an interesting name. There's a Moxham street about. Now, let me just come in here. It looks like there's quite a interesting layout here. We've got a couple of servicemen. Oh, this is all of the Moxhams. Well, I won't get too close because some of these look quite newish, and I don't want to upset anybody who has members of this family. I'm just going to poke my head around the corner because that one looked really old. I can't read it. Moxham family. Very nice. Now, who's that over there? I'll try and get my way over here. I'm in shorts today, so it's going to be quite an itchy evening, especially with these bugs. What's that say? Merville. Oh, I can't read it. Unfortunately, we have to step into the unknown to read some of these. So I'm kind of zooming in as much as I can. Mary Jane Stevenson. More Stevensons. Oops, sorry. There we go. More Stevensons. And Somerville, sorry. Somerville. I know my naked eye can see it, but I know that the camera's struggling because of the sun in the background. Blasted. And I can see my family coming back through the trees. So I'll get back down. Oops, let me zoom out a tad so you can see. It's a nice cluster of stones. I did have a look at all of those. I'm still having trouble finding Blaxland. Oh, if that's Blaxland, I've got to go have a look. Give me a tip to try and find a way through. Give me a second to climb my way through. Luckily there's no webs. All the ground's a bit squishy. Ground is squishy. Crisp. Marianne crisp and something moved. Oh my god. Okay, I'm getting out of here. Alright, I'm going to go have a look at a plug. I will take you there now. This little seat here is in memory of a gentleman that's only passed away over the last couple of years, so we won't dwell on that one too much. We don't want anyone to get upset. But
An aeroplane.
a man who always enjoyed a chat, a game of cards or chess. Lovely. Shh, 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 shh. Very nice. Got all the wildlife around here.
And that's another fun fact about Australia, kids.
Yeah. Well, we're back in the thick of it again. Literally. I'm just hoping that I don't sink. Sutton family. And we're back to having the backs of things. We must have seen those on the way through. Wow, there's one that's almost buried completely in here. George Gladhill, I believe. Now let me jump back out for a sec. Who have we got here? Billet. Anne Billet. Richard Billet. Now they've got this all, I suppose, blocked off. They probably don't want people like me traipsing through the grass. But it's never stopped me before. But I'm not a vandaliser. I'm not a vandalist. I'm not someone who's going to destroy this history. And I curse those who do. Because this is our history and we need to preserve it. And thankfully places like this still exist. That people haven't bulldozed it down and built more houses. I'll keep going. We've got the backs of those ones we looked at earlier. So it's really just a little path, isn't it? A path with gravestones. And over here, birds. Well, I'll just take you to this one here. What have we got here? Hunter. Helen Hunter. Helen Hunter. And Elizabeth Hunter. That's their little area there. Looks like it had some kind of metal around it. Enjoy the music we've provided. Hopefully YouTube doesn't pick up on anything and try and copyright. We've got Granger. Whoops, apologies, I dropped you. Let's keep going. Once again, the people in the houses behind me are probably wondering, what is this girl doing? Why is she filming such things on New Year's Eve? What is wrong with her? That's okay. Been asked that before. Okay, we're going to come out here again. I want to get to this corn section down here that you can't see because of the sun, but I will show you. It is possibly, apologies for the kangaroo grass that's suffocating the graves. Thanks, Watkin Tench. Let me just hop around on this side. Oh, there's a grasshopper. Look at him go. Okay, wow, check this thing out. Now I'm leaning in because of the long grasses here. I'm probably going to have to scrub my legs later from the itchiness. Okay, I'll come over to here. I've seen quite a bit of the graves in the centre. I still haven't found Blaxland. So Blaxland's got to be in there somewhere. He wasn't the biggest grave, but there's a grave right next to the end there. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Just want to have a little look over here. All Saints Cemetery. It was in use from 1830. Unmarked graves from the poor, insane, abandoned, destitute, and soon forgotten. From the Parramatta Asylum, Parramatta Jail, the Female Orphan School, Parramatta Orphan School, and other institutions. So that's why I went through and I filmed all of these names. Yes, they didn't all get to have lovely gravestones like the ones we still have here. Enjoy the music once again. If it gets too hectic, I might just talk over the top of this later, re-record. But it's not too bad, you know. Have a bit of music while we're wandering through the graves of All Saints Cemetery, Parramatta. How bits of grass gets underneath your feet and you walk it halfway around the property. Now I may have already checked this person out, but if I haven't, what have we got here? Peplard. It's quite a nice cemetery. Quite a lot of people living close by, but it's quite old. I don't think there'd be many unsettled people here. I've got a feeling that it was a lot of, there's a lot of young people, babies and children buried here. Perhaps due to some other pandemic that they had. Influenza and other things that took the lives of many. But Much like St John's, they've probably due to the pandemic times, we haven't really had much of a chance to get in here and whip a snip where we can and make it a little bit prettier. And yeah. So apparently Gregory Blaxland is in here. Gregory Blaxland. And there's one over here. I think I had a look at that one already. I'll have a little look over here and see if I can see some of these names. Unfortunately, they're quite difficult to read, being so far away. And this is all this is all kind of almost shoulder height to me. I'm only small, so I'm like a chihuahua in long grass. And yeah, what's there to say besides do not enter or enter if you dare? And judging by these little kangaroo prodding grasses things, we may end up with a couple of wounds. There's little gum nuts. This is cute. This is very Australian. Little gum nuts. Little gum nut things from the gum trees. And yes, that's what koalas eat, the leaves of gum trees. So I can't read this one, unfortunately. It's a little on the difficult side. And our little mate over there is not happy about us being not happy. Get out of my cemetery. Maybe these little dogs get to run around in here and enjoy the little parkland in the cemetery here. And they're like, hey, how dare you walk through my little play area. Dogs are territorial like that. I've got a little one like those. Chihuahua cross Foxy, and everything he owns. He's not happy sharing much. Wow, some of these are really interesting. I mean, that one there has 4 pillars around it. I don't know if you can see with the sun and the grass, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it must be quite an important person to have pillars, or usually there's like a wrought iron fencing around them like that. But this one seems to have lost the fencing. So that's quite interesting. That's alright. What have we got here? Morgan. Oh, we've got a bit of broken area here. I'd say the roots of some of these plants are growing through. Who have we got there? I can't read that either. But geez, just looking at these gravestones are just so, I mean, the shapes of them, quite interesting. Look at that one. Margaret. Oh, I can see Gregory Blaxland from here. Let me just get a bit closer. There he is. Let me just get in here. There he is, Gregory Blaxland. I'm pretty certain he is a brother of the Blaxland, the explorers, the Blaxland explorers. So I will confirm or deny this at editing time, but I'm glad we got him. And it seems to be 1851, 54, 3. Oh, let's see if I can zoom in anymore. Oh, here we go. 1830. Oh, I took a photo of it before. I'll find out later. But there he is. Now, but as for being one of the only influential people or important people or first leaders or whatever you'd like to call it, there's got to be more, I'm certain, but I do know Blaxland was one of the earliest people buried in here. But yeah, so we'll come back in the evening at some point with a torch and see what more we can see. Oh, I didn't see that one up there. I might just quickly go up and have a look. Apologies, I'm holding my phone open here. I just want to see if someone's buried in that. Oh, what is that? Did I look at that one before? It's quite an interesting one. Oh, it's a cross on the top, but half of the cross has been broken. I don't know if you can see that very well, but let me just see if I can get to this one. It's got a little hole in it. Difficult, there's a big tree in the way. It's a paperbark tree. Oh, I'm getting spider webs already. There we go. I can't read it, unfortunately. Or can I? Might be able to get around the other side of it, but it does look like it's Mather or Father. Sorry. Father or Martha, or see if I can get around it. Apologies for the trees. I'll edit that out later. Oh, can I get in there? Can I get in there? Can I get in there? Catherine. Sorry, it says Catherine Brewing Drinkwater. Catherine and Elizabeth Drinkwater. Alright. So we'll finish off here and we'll come back in the evening soon.
Aussie made.